This episode of Prison Architect is brought to you by Core Games, our newest ridiculous patron here at Hot Tips. Thank you so much, sir, for your outstanding support. Hey, what's happening, guys? Charlie here. Welcome back to Prison Architect. This is Season 2's finale episode, and I gotta tell you, it has taken forever to get this episode out to you guys, but I'm hoping it's worth it, and I'm gonna show you what I've been up to. This is the last day in Miss Makanaki's tenure here at the prison, and I've been trying to get everything done before she's out of here because she's the first gang leader to actually fill her sentence, and there she goes. She's just now getting out, and I couldn't put it off anymore because she's getting released. So it's not technically done. My little project I have to the north. Not technically done, but I'm starting right now because she kind of forced my hand. I just don't have enough time. Money has been incredibly tight, and I just spent a ton of money today. So it's more than likely this is going to be like negative 20,000 or something. I'm hoping not. These guys are doing a pretty decent job of getting all the wood in here, but they keep storing it in storage instead of exports. It's really difficult to get them to do what I want them to do. So I keep having to sell everything they put in storage, which is helping with the money, but it's kind of a band-aid, really. The money problems are really real now that I've done my little project, and I'll show you it in a second. Let's get some of this wood taken care of too. I normally don't like selling the wood, but because they're just not getting the beds done. I can sell that bed, sell that bed, sell that bed. They're just not getting to exports because they're so busy working on what I've got going on in the north. So, to get an idea, all right, if you guys saw Prison Town, if you haven't saw Prison Town, then you know what? Let's go look at Prison Town so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, so we're back here looking at Prison Town. For those of you guys who were with me in Season 1, you guys know all about this wonderful, terrible, frustrating place. So if you take a look at Prison Town, right, and you go down this road all the way down, you might wonder, what happens to the trucks when they leave our prison, right? Where are they going? Well, let's take a look at this suburb really quick. And you guys, if you weren't with me in Season 1, just let me give you a really quick recap. We tried to do a prison that was like a town, and every cell, the rule was basically every cell must go outdoors, right? So the cell and then outdoors. And that was the design for the whole prison. Every cell must be going outdoors. Well, I also decided, we had inner city, and then we have suburbs to our town, right, to our city. And this suburb over here was one of the newest ones that we created, and it looks pretty good. There's a nice little pleasant place to live, I'm sure. We had big cells that were way too big for individual people, but we turned on cell quality ratings, and that was with the intention of allowing people who didn't misbehave, people who were very well mannered and didn't misbehave, they got to live in the suburbs. And so it was sort of like, you guys get it. Anyway, so this is the southern suburb. Let's take a look at it really quick. Okay, see the buildings that are all here like this. We got this big forestry area, a little bit of storage here, and it looks really nice. Well, there's been a lot of work being done, and if we just sit here for just a little bit, I think you'll see, and bam, here it is. Prison Town's southern suburb is now right here. So Prison Town is actually over here, right? And then you come down to the southern suburbs, you get this right here, blah, blah, blah. And then if you're wondering, what's south of that? Well, that's this prison. Now, the reason it took me so long is because I don't want to cheat with money. And so I had to earn, so much money. It's been ridiculous. And then I had to hire a ridiculous amount of workmen to get this done. I had at one point 250 workmen putting all this together. And then I fired a ton of them because I don't need that many. Currently, my staff are, let's take a look. I have 76 workmen remaining, which is probably excessive, but there's still some work to be done up here. And I'll walk you through it in a second. I've got 291 guards, all of which have tasers. We have several snipers, more than I need. We have a lot more dogs than I probably need. 151 regular staff. Lots of gardeners, lots of janitors, lots of cooks. And this is the big part of my expenses is all these guys. I could probably get rid of a lot of these gardeners. I could probably get rid of a few of these janitors, and that will help me with money too. I could probably get rid of a couple of cooks. But the problem is if I get rid of too many cooks, then the staff don't get their meals because the staff, like, the cooks are still, like, moving things around with them. And I've had to, like, have a couple of different areas here. For example, the mailroom, it wasn't working. It was just a waste of space. And so now it's a place for staff to eat. And there's a couple of staff tables in here, which don't have any food because my workmen have been too busy to deliver it. So I'm willing to bet my morale is 61 now. And there's a whole bunch of people who are complaining. That will probably work itself out. I'm hoping that works itself out. But let's take a look up here. So I have the forestry set up, and this has been a really big help. It's kind of unorthodox because all the workmen are moving really far away. But up until yesterday, and I've been letting this run, I've been playing Prison Architect pretty much a little bit every single day since the last episodes like recorded and stuff. So it's been running for quite a while. You can see the difference in days. This is day 151 as opposed to the last episode, which I think was in like the mid 120s. So it's been about a month in game. I had an export line all the way over here, and primarily there were trucks just coming in, getting a whole bunch of wood. But the workmen did like to kind of not put the exports over here, and it would walk all the way down to this area to put the wood inside this workshop. And, you know, like, there's no way for me to incorporate these buildings. It's just for looks. And that's kind of the hardest part, is that I put all this expense into something that's primarily just for looks. Some of these buildings were really killing me because for the longest time, this area was staff only. And so every single chair and all these different chairs and all these different benches and like this canteen was a bad deal. Like all these buildings, the staff would try, like the AI is so stupid. The AI for staff needs is still stupid. It's not something that you want to play with. It just isn't. These guys will get food. And I turned this storage area into a place to get food too because I just had to. I needed more capacity for staff meals. There just wasn't enough capacity for it. So I did that, and like they would grab a meal from here, and then I also had to put benches out here because I needed to provide a place for more people to eat that was close to these serving tables. Because otherwise they would just walk all the way across and like try to eat like over here in this area, or if once I had this unlocked. They would kind of come all the way up here. And I had to deploy this as access only in order to stop them from doing that. Let me get all these things to be unlocked. I need to unlock them like this because otherwise the doors and stuff, if there's a prison, like if there's a jail door, it will be closed and I have to manage that. Some of these buildings are locked shut because there's no reason for anyone to go in them anymore. This one technically not true. I need to get the office desk put in place, but like so I've locked all these structures because there's just no reason for them to ever go in. They're kind of complete. These ones not complete. Need to do that yet, but I think this is actually a storage area, so this is complete. But this is supposed to have a table. I don't think it had. I'm looking at the prison like I had it before in Prison Town, and I don't think I had a table in this one. I think this was a shop that wasn't done yet or something. I don't know. Either way, it's pretty close. I did have to take some liberties, and I did have to take some changes to it. So, for example, this top piece up here, I need a fence that locks this whole thing in. Otherwise, I can't zone it. Like, I can't put it access only or anything like that, or unlocked or whatever. So I needed a place to close it down, and that means kind of digging into where the sidewalk was. I also chose not to complete this wall all the way up to the top because the sidewalk is there, and that's the way it was in the last series. Down here, there used to be a security office, or I think it was a kennel, actually. There used to be something here. The issue is, though, is that I don't have enough room to make it exactly the way it was supposed to be. And I would have to cut off access to this because for some reason, and it probably has to do with this double wall here, but for some reason, there's actually less vertical space in this purchased land than there was in the lower purchased land of the last prison. I'm short by like 3 squares. And I think it's because of this wall. I think this wall is probably not supposed to be here if I wanted to complete it, if I wanted to do it right. But it's okay. I don't care that much. Utilities are mostly ran. It's mostly operational. I did all the utilities and stuff for it too. Power station's looking pretty balanced. I also have the ability to shut this off, and I'm totally going to do that because there's no reason to have it on. But that will shut this down, and then you get blinking lights, and it's like kind of annoying, so you can turn it on. I guess it's fine. I like that I can turn that on without having to have somebody come in and get it. I like that part. What else? Yeah, canteen's done. All these things are done. Now, some of these cells have yet to be completed, like here. Some of these cells aren't done yet because, like I said, I had to start recording a little bit quicker than I wanted to just because Makanaki's out of the prison now. But I'm really glad she's out because that means gang-wise, oh, God, the gang mechanic is so strong, guys. It's way too strong. It looks like Red Leader got out, too. Wait, no, that's not true, is it? Yeah, Red Leader got out. That was Makanaki, though. So where's Green? Did Green get out, too, just now? They had really close sentences, so I think they did. Which means Gordon's all that's left, and she's almost out, too. The really cool part, the really great part about this is that the gang leaders, while they were volatile, they weren't extremely deadly expert fighters, all that stuff, right? They weren't that, and that helped them because they didn't kill staff. They would kick off all the time and destroy property all the time, but they didn't kill staff, and so their sentences didn't get increased. Very good, but yeah. I've had questions related to like whether I'm going to escape from this or not, and like I can if you want to. If you want to do that, we can, but it's just not. It's not going to be hard. Like it's going to be super easy to escape from this prison, because when you balance a prison for the architect part of the prison, you're balancing it against the fact that the prisoners aren't going to be as good as a player who's trying to escape, right? They are not somebody who knows the prison really well. They're not somebody who knows the mechanics of the game or whatever. They're just there. They're simulated people who are just trying to live their lives, do their time, and get out. And so they're not nearly as aggressive or smart in escaping. This prison, not going to be hard to escape at all. There's lots of different places where they could totally do it as a player who knows what they're doing. But as AI, not so much. What else do I want to show you guys? Oh, the tree placements, right? So I did my best with the trees and the benches and stuff. I think there's a couple of places where I still have yet to do it, like over here. There still should be some trees here too. I think there's like one. Let me look at it. I'm looking at the prison image of the last series. Actually, there's no trees here. There's no trees here. Okay. These trees are actually really well placed. These ones here are really well placed, as well as the phone booths, pretty good. There was a really high concentration of trees in this area, but I'm not able to put enough of them together. Because if you remember when we did this, we kept the natural trees. I didn't want to demolish the trees that were already there. And so you get a lot of trees that are really close together because that's the way the map naturally did it. But like I can't do that if I'm not, like I can't do that custom placement because it won't let me place this, you know, close enough. So, but I can put another one like here or something. It's not a big deal. But yeah, that's my big surprise. I hope you weren't like expecting something super extravagant or anything, because it's like, it's Prison Architect. And what can you do? But I think this is a really big project. This is why it took so long to get this episode out. Another question I had, or another statement I had, or comment I had, I guess, was telling me to do basketball. And like, I'm not going to add another mod. Like, I just didn't want to add another mod just to add something. The basketball court from the last series is right here. But you'll notice there's no court. It is wood floor. I did do the wooden flooring, but there's no court here. And it's pretty much just because I didn't want to add the mod. If you guys want to download this prison and play it yourself, you totally can add the mod. It's really easy. Just put it at the bottom of your load order, and it won't mess up with the textures and stuff. I have tested it. It does work with my mod list that I have right now. As long as you just put it at the bottom and don't let the materials renew or whatever it's called. What's my mods? Let me show you guys my mods so you guys are up to date with it. I'm going to put it in the description as well as a Steam collection, but just in case you guys want to know it. It's right here. Materials Remaster should be at the very top. If I put this any lower, it starts to mess with things. But if you want to add real-time basketball, you totally can at the bottom of this. Be really easy to do. So there you go. And then I'm subscribed to these ones because I was testing them out later. Fallout Vault mod. I might do that in the future. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, so if you want to add it, you can. Just pop it right here. It's fine. You can reference the Prison Town Steam file as well. It's in the description of the last episode of that series. You'll find that prison too. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've been working on. And this is it. This is the prison. We did a really good job here, I think. A lot smoother than last time. Take a look at the prison grading. We've had 22 staff fatalities. I have had to give, if you guys are wondering, I have had to give these guys a raise. If I look at my finances, It's really tight. It's really, really tight finances. Exports is like the only reason this thing stays afloat. And while I was building, that was a piece of, like, that was a real big piece of work. Like, oh man, trying to build all this while still keeping exports, it required me to have like 200 prisoners or 200 workmen, because I needed everyone to focus on this and then just kick out exports. I would wait till we had this huge backlog of exports. I added exports over here on the other side of the road as well. And like, I needed to wait for this whole thing to be full, and then I basically said, okay, right click, or I basically went like control click, drag, prioritize this, go. And then my exports would still keep going just because the truck drivers are coming in. But it's been difficult, guys. It's been difficult. But I really like this prison. I think it worked out really well. I'm a big fan of this yard, for sure. Definitely a big fan of the yard. The garden thing was kind of an interesting touch. It's pretty slow with revenue. It does okay. It does way better than shops. Been thinking about getting rid of the shop and just like having some more benches here, but the shops are basically pointless. You saw my finances, like the shop revenue. It's pretty pathetic. It's something, but it's pretty pathetic, especially when, you know, guard wages is 44. Like, basically my exports offsets guard wages. So everything else has to come from early prisoner releases and everything else that's a matter with it. Total valuation for the prison right now is just over 1.6 million. Needs-wise, this has been a big problem. Food, bowels, and bladder has been a big problem lately, and it's because of kind of having to spread people out. That's why their morale is 62% instead of 100. It's because of this stuff. It's not really guards as much as it is everyone else. Like cooks, for example, super high needs because I don't have enough cooks. But hiring more cooks means a lot more money, not only in their wages, but also in the staff food that comes in. Every time you hire a new staff member, you have to remember that staff needs has these staff meals coming in, and these things are so expensive. They're so expensive. So if you're gonna play staff needs, you gotta really manage your staff well. It is a completely new element to the game. It changes everything and how you have to manage it. And I think having a decent amount of planning going forward, when I first started the prison, having a good amount of planning and knowing kind of how I wanted to expand, how I wanted to build things, the organizational structure I needed in terms of like guards to prisoners, and it really, I think I could have probably done it better, but I think we did as good as I could have expected. I think it did really well. This right here saves my ass huge. This has been a godsend for this prison. All right, and I can actually unlock these doors now because good old Miss Gordon here decided to wreck not one but both door servos. Somehow she wrecked this one while the door was open. She wrecked it and then like sprinted over here and started banging down this one before the guards, like before the snipers got her to submit. But she has been a pretty big pain in the ass. But at the same time, her recent experience is just destruction, primarily destruction. Sometimes she injures another prisoner. We had a guard leader fight. All three of them were fighting here. That was fun, having to forgive everyone. Instant riot happened the moment that fight was over with and we processed all the prisoners and got their sentencing. Like instant riot in the prison, and I ended up losing 2 guards because of that. A lot of the reason why we lost staff was because of Felicia Gordon and the other gang leaders, because they act up and you don't see it because I'm trying to focus on this. I'm like putting all my attention into this, trying to get this right, get the details right, even down to like this path right here that kind of goes this way, trying to get it all right. And it's really hard to focus on that when prisoners are kicking off all the time and constantly causing problems because you don't want your guards to die. So I did go into the intelligence screen. I had some people recommend this. I had some comments recommend this, and it was one of those deals where it was like, I don't really want to do this. I'm just gonna let him go. Just let it be, man. But uh-oh, hey, we got another legendary here. Oh wait, what? What? Hold on, are you? No! Oh, you got me. Oh, she got me. How did she get in here? How did she get in? She wasn't... You know what? I have intake on, don't I? I do. I have a 3 intake on right now. She just happened to slip in while I've been talking here. Damn. Well, we need to get her out of this general population, and I'm willing to bet she just tagged up another, well, I mean, I don't know if she has another lieutenant or not, but this one here was recruited. All the other legendaries in this area were all recruited. Like, they've all been made deputies or lieutenants and stuff, so. Oh, yeah. They're getting some gang business going on here. We need to get her out of there. Hopefully she gets there. We have the capacity for her now. But anyway, so it was recommended to me that I manage some of my prisoners a bit better because, you know, it just cuts down the violence. And you know what? You're probably right. I should have done this earlier, but I wanted to let it play out and just see what happened. But I mean, they're killing janitors and stuff, and there's nothing I could do about it. So I went ahead and I did what you guys recommended, or some of you guys recommended, and I took the volatile ones, although I did miss a few. This one's instigator. I can do this here. I took the volatile ones and the instigators, and I put them on permanent lockdown so that they can't get in with the general population and cause problems. So they don't cause a bunch of fights. They don't kick off for no reason and cause other people to kick off for no reason. I had one prisoner, I think she's out of here now though, but there was one prisoner that came in. Her only two traits were extremely volatile and instigator. Like, that she caused so many problems. She was in solitary all the time, but she would always cause massive fights, and it was just terrible. So yeah, I mean, she wouldn't do any damage because she doesn't have any of the other traits, but just her fighting would cause other people to fight. All right, I think we'll do the execution now. Aubrey here, she's been in here for a while, 7% clemency. I think we should just do this, and let's see if we can time this to where we do it right at midnight. I think it'll probably take about this long, so do that, and we'll get the process started. You guys have seen this in the last series, but in case you're not familiar with it, you know, you have the process up here at the upper left-hand corner. It's pretty small because it doesn't scale to 4K. Sorry about that, but essentially it's just the same stuff that you are familiar with already in terms of like, you know, getting everyone locked down, which is the first thing you do is lock down the prison. Then you have to get, you know, the staff in position. You have to bring in the visitors who are going to be witnesses and stuff. Typically this is, you know, there's a spiritual leader that comes in. And then we just take them to the chair, they sit down, and I think when the clock gets to 0000, that's when we will pull the switch. All right, and go. There you go. All done. Our first execution. It's our first female execution anyway. It's a dark thing. Everyone knows it's a dark thing. I tried to make that abundantly clear when I did Prison Town. But I think for the most part, Prison Architect does a pretty decent job of sort of presenting dark topics in a fairly light way that a lot of people can, at minimum, feel... that people can, at minimum, feel at least like it's not, you know, super uncomfortable. All right, so a couple more days have passed now, and we finally got this done, I think. I have to double check and make sure I got all the cells, but I'm pretty sure, okay, this one needs done, and I think that's it. I think the rest of the cells are all done, and they match their Prison Town counterparts. Maybe not this one. What's this one going on? Let me check my chart really quick. This one needs a television, a chair, and a bookshelf, actually. So, go chair here, television is here, and then there was a bookshelf here. Okay. When they put that in, then we have this little water pipe here that needs to go in. I guess I probably could connect these hot water pipes, but yeah, I probably need to do that too. So let's just connect these up. So this one, and then these. And then that should take care, I think. It should take care of everything we need here. Except this cell. Now this cell has, let's see, this cell has, gotta look at my chart, Not chart, it's a screenshot of the prison, so. Like this, good. Toilet's there, good. Let's put the radio. Is it a radio or a chair? It's a radio, yep, there. And then there's a bookshelf there. Okay. It looks like there's actually more. There's yeah, there's a television here and a chair here. Okay, so that's that cell. I just want this, like the workmen can be in here and that's it. So once the workmen are done with these cells, what we're gonna do then, probably could connect this. It doesn't look like it's necessary though. No, we're good. As soon as they're done building this whole area, then I'm gonna lock the whole area off. And by doing that, or to do that, I'm gonna take away, I'm gonna lock down this door, and then I'm gonna take away this staff door and just lock it into an actual perimeter wall. And then this whole area will just be locked down completely. Nobody will be able to go in or out. And the reason I want that is just because my staff in this prison doesn't need to be here, right? This is prison town staff, if you will. We could say that, you know, both prisons are working together for this forestry to make it a better, you know, a more economic thing. You know, they have some sort of partnership, they could say. But this area over here is where the men are staying, right? We don't want them, we don't need them mixing in with this, right? So we'll lock this down as soon as they're done building it. This has been really difficult. Look at the money situation right now. We're down negative 7,200. I told you this thing was going to drop to negative territory. I told you it was going to. And I'm actually going from being like 70,000 up to being negative 777 here. So like it does bounce back with exports, but every time I have the workmen go in here and actually build something, it spend money. It really hits me hard on income, because not only am I spending money on the stuff that's in here, which is not getting me anything, but it removes the workmen out of the system, right? Out of the whole workflow system of getting exports to the trucks. And by getting them out of this, by taking them out of that equation, the trucks get loaded way slower, if at all, and they also get unloaded slower and everything. So once they're done manufacturing, once they're done building things, no, stop. They keep kicking off too. Even though I take out most of the volatile prisoners, there's still some volatile prisoners, but let me see. It's intelligence is what I'm looking for. Is it a gang thing? Might be a gang thing. Green leader's still not in here, thankfully. She might come in tomorrow. I have 5 prisoner intake on. We got an extra death row inmate. The one of them got clemency, and on their first hearing, if you will. And then we got an extra one now, so there's still 2. There's always tasers going off all the time. Are these volatile people back in the prison now? Is that what happened? Extremely volatile. You there. Yeah, you're in lockdown already. Why are you out and about then? Shouldn't be out and about if you are an instigator. So let's put you in lockdown. They have another problem. Like, they bring wood all the way to like all these storage areas. They'll store wood here instead of bringing it to the workshop, which I guess is fine, because eventually they do get, you know, what are you guys doing? You guys should not be going through here. Oh, this is not staff only. Well, that's the problem. Make that access only too. We'll just sell this. Yeah. I find little tiny gaps, like little tiny problems with my workflow here and there all the time, and just trying to correct it all is kind of where I'm going. Trying to get it all fixed. Look at the exports we're gonna get now. Now we're gonna start seeing our money bit come back into the positive. I just know it, man. Gonna be fine now. We're gonna be all right. Should we do a shakedown tonight? Another problem with a shakedown is that the guards want to do all of this stuff. Like, it's just a really big pain in the ass. So you kind of have to, instead of doing a shakedown, what I've been doing is I kind of go to each of these cell blocks and I just kind of say search cell block. And I do like a few cell blocks a night. I don't do the whole thing, which is probably not good. But as soon as I close that whole area off, then maybe it'll be fine. The only problem with it, oh, there we go. We got a little bit of a tunnel there. The only big problem with it really is that, wow, look at that. Nice. Is that they get all these, you're gonna get all these little warnings that, you know, these little red areas here that says, you can't go here, can't put a hot water pipe here, route blocked 810 times. And I just delete those, like, whatever. Doesn't matter to me at all. Oh, don't do it, Chief. Radio host is fired. Thank you. Yeah, the radio thing kicked in again. Like, great. All right, let's get these tunnels taken care of. We have the money to do it, thankfully. Did get a little bit of money. It's really expensive to remove tunnels. Like, it adds up. This is only 40 bucks just now, but like, it adds up. Over time, you end up spending thousands removing tunnels. But it's worth it. What's going on here? Oh, it's just the room I'm in, yeah. All the paths are done. Every cell has, well, not every cell. All the roads are supposed to have gravel, just as like a little driveway. Just for looks, you know. I think this is road, and then this is the driveway here. Actually, let's cancel that. Yeah, that's fine, just the way that is. Do gravel like that, and like that, all the way to the road, maybe? Is this a road? It looks like it is. Let's cancel this. See what that does. Kind of hard to see in the dark, but you get this stuff here, right? All these little red check marks, like I can't reach this, and it's okay. I don't care if the stuff is dirty. I don't care if it's filthy. It could look absolutely horrible, but it just needs to match the other prison. I just want it to be as accurate as possible to what we've built already. And that kind of leads me to ending the series today. It kind of ends me to ending the series now and saying that this is it. This is the prison, guys. And if you like the replication that I did here, if you like the fact that we kind of recreated something that already existed, then you're really going to like the next series we have, because the next series I'm working on, it's a major project. I've already spent more time in planning the next one than I have creating this prison, like completely. Like all the time I put into this prison, I've already spent more time researching my next project. It's pretty intense. And if you guys like the concept, we're not playing Prison Architect again. At least the next series that I'm talking about is not Prison Architect. But if you guys like creative games and you like the idea of, you know, just replicating something that already existed, then you are really gonna love this next series. I put a lot of time into it. I'm going to put a lot more time into it. We're gonna start releasing less videos here at Hot Tips. I know it sounds like a negative thing, but I'm gonna start releasing less videos and putting more time into each video, because I think you guys really like that instead. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping that kind of thing appeals to people. And you'll see the high quality presentation I have for this next project is pretty wild. So thank you for watching so much. I really appreciate it. If you like this series, consider sharing the playlist with your friends. You can like this video if you want to like it. You can dislike it if you don't like it. Although, come on, like, it's the end. It's the last episode. Come on. You can dislike that it's the last episode, but like the video itself, you want it to be successful, right? I'm just kidding, guys. Seriously. It looks to me like we're going to be in positive for income today. We are catching up with money. It's going up like this. We have higher than we started with already today. So I'm thinking that today, now that this is all cooled down and we've got it all built, I'm thinking today we start getting our money back up, because this number should be like plus 20, plus 30,000. That's what it has been while I've been trying to mess with this. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I'm not going to drag this out anymore. I already have. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, whatever game that might be. Bye-bye.